After the day's incident, Hyan lay quietly on the floor, surrounded by her orphaned brother and sisters, who were already fast asleep. She, however, was wide awake, her mind replaying the events of the day in restless loops. Suddenly, her phone buzzed. She reached for it and saw a message from Huang. "Give me a call if you need help." The sound must have stirred her siblings. One of her sisters blinked up at her and teased, "Are you talking to your boyfriend?" Hyan didn't answer. Instead, she gently urged them, "Go back to sleep." As she placed the phone on her chest, her thoughts lingered on Huang. "This guy, he's different from the others," she mused. "As far as I know, he's not a bad person." Meanwhile, across town, Huang stood alone on his terrace, smoking cigarette. The city lights flickered below, but his attention was fixed on his phone, where Hyan's photo illuminated the screen. He exhaled a slow plume of smoke and muttered to himself, "I never thought I'd run into one like her. I finally found the pure-blood vampire." Outside Hyan's orphanage, two goons were causing a commotion, shouting and banging on the gate. "This is the last house left that hasn't signed," one grumbled. "That damn priest is holed up in there and won't come out." The priest appeared, a thick wooden stick in hand and a cigarette dangling from his lips. "Where were you dumbass?" sneered one of the goons. The priest said nothing, calmly taking a drag and exhaling smoke. The goons shoved a stack of papers at him. "Listen, old man, sign these before you get hurt. I'm being nice because you're a priest." Without a word, the priest smashed his stick on the ground, splintering it in two. He stubbed out his cigarette on his tongue, unfazed by the pain, and looked the goons dead in the eye. "If that's how it is, let's go somewhere nicer to talk." The goons faltered, fear creeping into their eyes. They backed away, muttering excuses. The junior goon whispered, "What just happened?" His boss replied, voice shaky, "I've got urgent business. Otherwise, I'd show that priest who's boss." As they hurried off, the senior goon muttered, "What kind of priest is he, anyway? The rumors must be true. Wherever he goes, people start dying." As the last echoes of trouble faded from the street, Father Michael stepped quietly into the old house. Inside, Hyan stood in silent prayer, her orphaned siblings watching her with a mixture of awe and concern. The moment they saw the priest, the children rushed to him, their arms wrapping around him in an unusually warm welcome. Father Michael raised an eyebrow, his voice gentle but curious. "What's all this? You never greet me like this. Did something happen?" One of the younger siblings piped up, "It's Hyan, Father. She's been acting strange since yesterday." Hyan, ever respectful, stood and offered a polite smile. "How was your workshop, Father?" He softened, his sternness melting for a moment. "It was fine, child." Hyan's respect for him was deep. He had raised her as his own, never letting her feel the sting of being an orphan. To her, he was more than a guardian. He was the father she never had. But she knew he despised her vampiric nature, and this time she was desperate to keep her recent slip hidden. As Father Michael settled in, the siblings chimed, "We were waiting for you, Father." Before he could respond, two women entered, one carrying a glass jar. "Good evening, sister," Michael greeted them warmly. "We came to thank you for fixing the plumbing," one replied, offering the jar. "And happy birthday, Father." He accepted the gift, turning it over in his hands with a smile. "Thank you. This means a lot." Seeing his good mood, Hyan felt her anxiety ease, if only for a moment. But then, Father Michael's tone shifted. "Hyan, come with me to the roof. We need to talk." The evening air was cool. On the rooftop, Father Michael leaned against the boundary wall, his gaze fixed on the dimly lit street below. He pulled out a cigarette, lighting it, his eyes narrowing as he spotted a shadowy figure lurking in the distance, watching the house. Breaking the silence, Hyan asked quietly, "What's wrong, Father?" He exhaled a thin stream of smoke, his voice low and grave. "It was you, wasn't it? The recent vampire incident. You were responsible." Hyan froze, words failing her. Father Michael's voice hardened. "You could have been caught. Are you planning to get your siblings killed along with you?" She finally found her voice, trembling. "I had no other choice." He sighed, the weight of his disappointment heavy in the air. "I've respected your decisions until now, but from this moment, you can't go to school. Not until you earn my trust again. Hyan's eyes filled with desperation. Please, father, I'll be more careful. I've done everything to hide what I am. School is the only place I don't feel alone. Please trust me. Just one more chance. He cut her off, his gaze sharp and sorrowful. Don't you understand? It doesn't matter how much you train a wild beast. In the eyes of others, you'll always be a monster. Stunned into silence, Hyan could only stare, the sting of his words cutting deeper than any wound. After the harsh words from Father Michael, Hyan stepped out of the house. It was raining. People had gathered in the streets, holding banners and chanting protests against vampires. We want our children safe. Go away, you monsters. It's time we take matters into our own hands. The slogans echoed through the air, filled with fear and anger. Watching the chaos unfold, Hyan realized Father was right. She sat quietly on a nearby bench, rain pouring down her face, mixing with tears she didn't even notice. Her thoughts spiraled. She had no memories from before arriving at the orphanage. It was there she learned that humans, delicate and beautiful like flowers, lived peaceful, normal lives. And she wanted that life too. But no matter how hard she tried, she would never truly belong in their world. To them, she would always be a monster wearing a human mask. In the distance, she saw children laughing, a boy handing a flower to his blushing girlfriend. A sweet, normal moment. And in that moment, Hyan's heart ached. I want that life, she whispered, a normal human life, to love someone, to have friends. But fate cursed me. She sat quietly as the rain fell harder. Scene shifts. Outside a hidden vampire club, a group of vampires, smoking and joking. One of the older ones turned to a young newcomer. Listen, kid, if you ever meet an angel of death, just grovel. Don't be like that idiot Byong-Soo. He stood tall and ended up 6 feet under. The kid blinked. What's an angel of death? The elder vampire laughed grimly. There are 6 of them, the ruling elites of our kind. Each could level a city if they wanted to. They keep the rest of us in check. The kid, excited, smiled. One day, I will be an angel of death. The senior vampire scoffed. You'll never be one of them, so stop dreaming. Just then, a mysterious man walked up to the entrance. Tall, with a calm but intense air, he tried to move past the guards. Where do you think you're going, son? One vampire asked, stepping forward. I'm here to see an angel of death, the man replied. The vampire laughed. This isn't some Bible verse, buddy. I'd turn back if I were you, unless you've got a death wish. But the man ignored him completely, gently pushing him aside. The other chuckled. He shouted angrily, You think you can ignore me, asshole? Before he could finish his sentence, the mysterious man struck, so fast the others didn't even see it happen. The vampire flew across the alley, crashing hard into the wall. A hiss came from another guard who began transforming into his vampire form. But the man, now showing his own vampiric aura, spoke calmly. It's all right. Just tell him I'm here. I want to meet the angel of death. One of the club guards rushed inside, breathing heavily. He found the club's boss in his nightrobe, golden vampire teeth glinting as he licked them lazily with his tongue. Boss, there's someone outside. He took out 2 of our guards. He's asking for you. The boss raised an eyebrow, amused. Let him in. This sounds entertaining. Inside the club, music pulsed loudly. Bodies moved in rhythm, and laughter echoed across the dark, neon-lit lounge. Suddenly, glass shattered. The music screeched to a halt. All eyes turned to the source of the noise. The mysterious man had forced his way in, slamming another guard through a table. The shards of broken glass sparkled around them like falling stars. The man rose slowly, his claws extended, glowing faintly in the club's dim light. He looked down at the lifeless body beneath him and spoke coldly. I've seen enough of your rookies. Come out now, angel of death. Silence. Come out, he roared, before I kill someone else. A slow clap echoed from the shadows. Red eyes pierced through the darkness, glowing like coals. As the figure stepped forward, the crowd shrank back. The club boss smiled as he revealed himself, elegant, cruel, and oddly calm. So dramatic, he chuckled. What business do you have with me? The mysterious man sneered. Are you the angel of death? You look way too puny. The boss laughed mockingly. Ouch, that hurts. No one ever talks to me like that. You must be new. Let me guess. You're one of those wannabes who thinks he's strong enough to become an angel of death. He looked the man over and smirked. Wait a second. You're that UFC champion, right? I've seen your fights. Big fan. The man didn't reply. The boss stepped closer. Why don't you join me? I'd be honored to have you in my circle. The stranger growled back. I don't join groups led by weaklings. Give me your title, and I might let you live. The club owner chuckled, clearly unbothered. Oh no, I'm so scared. Please don't hurt me. Then his smile faded. Watch your mouth before you say something you can't take back. Before he could finish, the mysterious man struck with a devastating punch. The club owner flew across the room. Gasps filled the room, blood sprayed. But before anyone could react, the mysterious man was on him again, landing brutal punches one after another. I'm overflowing with power, the man muttered to himself. I'm done with my boring life. I'll become an angel of death, and then I'll do whatever the hell I want. He raised his fist for the final blow. Die, you motherfucker! In a blur, the club owner was suddenly standing again, calm, smiling, untouched. He raised one hand and flicked his middle finger against the man's forehead. The impact was catastrophic. The mysterious man flew backwards like a missile, slammed into a wall, and dropped unconscious. Blood oozed from his mouth as silence fell. The club owner dusted off his hands and grabbed a towel. Tsk, weak. Embarrassing, he turned to his guards. If he's dead, toss him out, and clean this mess. Just as they moved to obey, another subordinate sprinted into the room, panting. He leaned close to whisper into the boss's ear. Sir, we've confirmed it. A pure-blood vampire has been spotted in the city. The club owner's eyes widened. His drink slipped from his hand. A pure-blood? He paused, then grinned. Shall we go pay them a visit? The scene shifts to a narrow, rain-slicked street where a small crowd gathers around a grated storm drain. Murmurs ripple through the group as they peer inside. A faint, panicked mewing echoes upward. A cat is trapped below, flailing in the rising filthy water. The drain cover refuses to budge, sealed tight with rust and time. Anyone have bolt cutters? Someone calls out. Others try pushing and pulling, but it doesn't move an inch. Then, a sudden voice cuts through the tension, loud and urgent. Hey, look up! Free cash in the sky! Heads snap upward, eyes scan the clouds, but the sky is empty, just gray. There's nothing, someone mutters. Who said that? They turn back to the drain and freeze. The cover is open. The cat, soaked and shivering, crouches just outside the grate. Behind it stands a girl, lean, breathless, trying to melt into the background. It's Hyen. Her eyes flick to the crowd, then to the open street behind her. People rush forward, both relieved and amazed. Someone asks how she got it open. Still catching her breath, Hyen shrugs and mumbles something about it just giving way. Phones flash. The moment is captured, shared. By morning, her photo is on the front page. Mystery girl saves drowning cat in daring rescue. At home, Father Michael reads the headline in silence. The paper trembles slightly in his hands. I told you, stay out of the spotlight, he says, voice low but charged. Hyen doesn't respond. He sets the paper down slowly. You don't understand what you've done. Vampires aren't hiding anymore. They've grown, powerful, organized. They've infiltrated the underworld. The police can't touch them. His voice tightens. And you're what they want, what they need. Your blood is the only thing that keeps them alive longer than nature allows. Around the room, the truth hangs in plain sight. Notes on vampire physiology cover the walls. Ancient texts and newspaper clippings are scattered across the desk. Hyen picks up one of the articles. She doesn't look at him when she speaks. What am I to you? Michael's expression hardens, but his eyes betray something softer. Don't get sentimental, he mutters. Her voice cracks as she speaks again. I know what I am, a monster. But have you ever thought about what that feels like? Living like this, every single day? You're not a monster to me, he says. I'm not afraid of you. I'm afraid for you. Hyan's voice rose again, trembling but firm. You're worried because I'm a vampire. Michael took a step forward, shaking his head. No, I'm worried because you're you, he said, his voice tight with emotion. Because you're still my child, no matter what runs in your veins. This world doesn't see the difference, but I do. But it's too late. Hyan turns and bolts. The door slams behind her. Her footsteps fade. As silence settles over the house, Michael notices a small envelope on the floor. He picks it up. Happy birthday, it reads, in delicate handwriting. He sat on the table behind him, the card trembling in his fingers. Father Michael was a kind man. He always helped others without expecting anything in return. But for Hyan, one sentence from him haunted her deeply. You're a monster. Those words left a scar. It changed everything between them. A few days later, Father Michael stood in his church, dressed in his chalice-white Catholic robes, blessing the faithful who came to receive communion. Among the crowd, a man whispered to another, Father Michael, he's always so distant. I've known him for years, but I've never seen him smile. The other nodded. They say he has scars, a lot of them. Rumor is, he has a dark past. As Father Michael continued blessing the line of churchgoers standing in the queue, coming to him one by one. In the queue standing the man with purple hair, the owner of the infamous vampire club. Father Michael stiffened the moment he saw him. His breath hitched. He whispered to himself, Something's off. He's not like the others I've seen wandering around outside during the day. For a moment he froze. The communion bread in his hand trembled. The people in line began to murmur, confused. The purple-haired man broke the silence with a soft, unsettling smile. I'm looking for someone, he said. Maybe you can help me find her. Father Michael's heart pounded. He clenched the glass chalice tightly and swallowed hard. The congregation is in danger, he thought. I need to get him out of here, fast. Trying to maintain composure, Father said, I'm sorry. We're in the middle of a service. Come back later. The vampire's smile widened just slightly. Don't worry, Father. I'll leave as soon as I find the one I'm looking for. Michael's voice hardened. The person you're looking for isn't here. The vampire tilted his head. Aren't you a priest? You look like you're about to punch me. I didn't even say who I was looking for. A man in the line tapped the vampire's shoulder impatiently. Hey, hurry up. We're all waiting. The vampire pressed a hidden button on his umbrella and replied coldly, Don't touch me. I won't warn you again. The man scoffed, grabbed his shoulder and barked, Listen to me, motherfucker. Do what you came to do and get out. We've got other people waiting. In a flash, the vampire squeezed the man's hand tightly, too tightly. Tension rose. Father Michael quickly stepped forward, raising his voice. That's enough. Everyone, please leave. The service is over for today. Confused and murmuring, the congregation slowly made their way out of the church. The vampire turned to follow, but before stepping out, he tossed a card toward Father Michael. Come visit me at the club, Father, whenever you have time. Then, with a slow lick of his teeth, he added, And send my regards to Miss Hayen Park. With a dramatic slam of the church door, he was gone. Father Michael stood in the silence of the now empty church, panting, staring down at the card in his hand. Late at night, Father Michael sat quietly, deep in thought. He pondered how they had come to know about Hyan. The only reason they hadn't attacked her yet was because her heart hadn't fully matured. It was only a matter of time. His eyes wandered to the table beside him. On it lay a birthday card, simple, handmade, given to him by Hyan. Beside it were 3 old photographs as he stared at it, memories from a darker past washed over him. Long before he became a priest, Michael had been a soldier. Those were hard days, harsh, brutal. But there had been one bright spot. A child, a boy. He had found him during a military operation. The child had almost nothing, yet he always wore a smile. They didn't speak much, didn't meet often, but a quiet bond had formed between them. The boy had a way of making Michael smile, something rare in those days. But like a sudden sandstorm, disaster struck without warning. One day, intelligence reported that terrorists were transporting explosives nearby. The army was ordered to intercept and eliminate any suspicious targets immediately. Michael hadn't seen the boy in a while, but that day he saw him again, under the worst possible circumstances. The boy was spotted near the suspected site, carrying a bag. It looked suspicious. Soldiers surrounded him, weapons drawn, demanding he drop it. Michael was among them. He stepped forward, urging the boy gently, almost pleading. "Do what they say," he told him. "Please." But the boy didn't respond. He behaved strangely, fidgeted, then slowly began to unzip the bag. The tension snapped. A shot rang out. The boy fell. The soldiers rushed to inspect the bag. Inside were only empty paint cans. Later, it was revealed that the boy's parents had been working with the terrorists. They had used him as a decoy, a distraction. The guilt crushed Michael. From that day on, he stopped smiling. He had failed to protect the one innocent soul who brought light into his life. That day broke something in him. It was the day he turned to God. He became Father Michael, hoping that through service he could wash away the guilt. But nothing ever truly changed. The past clung to him like a shadow. Then, late one night, the TV flickered on with breaking news. Riots in Bankson Market. Infected group suspected. The reporter's voice was urgent. Victims show signs of being attacked, blood drained from their bodies. Police warn civilians to avoid going out after dark. If you see anything suspicious, report it immediately. Father Michael leaned back, his face pale. The country was beginning to panic. The emergency had begun. Vampires were real. And they were here. One late night, as snow fell harder than usual, Father Michael was returning from the market. The streets were nearly empty, buried under white silence. On his way home, something caught his eye. A girl lying unconscious in the snow, her body fragile and motionless. She was cold, pale, and looked hurt. He immediately carried her to the nearest hospital, but there wasn't a single wound on her. When the doctors finished checking her, they looked baffled. "There's not even a scratch on her," one of them said. "Are you her guardian?" Before Michael could reply, the girl stirred. She opened her eyes, large, sorrowful, and familiar. Her hand clutched his tightly, as if pleading. Those eyes, they were just like the child who had once died in front of him during a military raid. The resemblance haunted him. Something inside Michael urged him not to leave her. So he brought her home. The girl said her name was Hyan, but everything else, her past, her memories, was gone. She behaved oddly. It didn't take Michael long to realize she wasn't a normal human. She was something else. But still, she reminded him of the boy. That grief kept him silent. He didn't ask questions. He just let her stay. In recent weeks, vampire attacks in the city had grown worse. The late-night news was filled with chilling reports, murders, disappearances, bloodless bodies found in alleyways. Every night Michael stayed up, unable to sleep, the past eating at him. Hyan's presence in the house stirred painful memories. She was a living echo of the child he had failed to protect. One night, unable to bear the weight of it anymore, Michael went to his drawer. Inside were letters, written by that boy before he died. Letters Michael had never dared to open. With trembling hands, he tore them apart, piece by piece, and threw them into the trash. Hyan saw it happen. The next day, Michael came home to find something strange. On the table were the same torn letters, carefully pieced back together with tape. Next to them was a small note in Hyan's handwriting. "Thank you for everything, but I don't want to cause you pain. I don't want you to be stressed because of me. So, I'm leaving." The words hit Michael like a storm. Hyan walked alone through the snow, straight to the nearest police station. She was scared. Of herself, of hurting others, of what she might be. She didn't understand her powers, only that they were dangerous. A female officer spotted her. "Hey kid," she said kindly. "What are you doing here? You need help." Hyan tried to speak, but fear tightened her throat. She swallowed hard. "You okay?" the officer asked again, more gently this time. Gathering her courage, Hyan whispered, "I'm a vampire." The officer blinked, stunned, then gave a nervous laugh. "Okay, sweetie, you really shouldn't joke like that. Not safe these days." "But it's true," Hyan insisted. The officer's expression hardened. "I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. You're gonna get yourself in trouble saying stuff like that. You want to be kidnapped by a vampire. Where are your parents?" Desperation took over Hyan. "I can prove it," she said. Just then, a male officer approached. "What's going on?" Before anyone could answer, Hyan raised extended her fingers, her nails sharpening unnaturally. The officers instantly reached for their guns. But before things could escalate, Father Michael arrived there. He rushed to Hyan, gently grabbing her hand and covering it. "There you are. I've been looking for you all day." He turned to the officers. "I'm so sorry. Did she say something strange again? She can be a bit dramatic sometimes, playing the part of a flustered guardian. She's not dangerous, just confused. I'll take her home now." The tension slowly eased. Michael led Hyan away,